Welcome to another episode of Chris Sips. I'm Chris, and these are the sips. Except I don't have anything to sip, so I'm going to make pretend to sip this. Imaginary something. Tasty. So, this episode of Chris Sips, I've decided to do 2019 in review. So, 2019 was a bit of an eventful year for me. I got a new car, got a new job, um, ended a relationship. I moved into a new apartment. I've met a lot of new people, made a lot of new friends, and overall, it was incredibly eventful for me, and that's pretty cool. I learned a lot of lessons, and I just lived. I mean, at at one point, I would have told you it was probably the worst year of my life. I was really in a dark place for a bit, and but I bounced back because I realized, even though it was a dark place where I was at that point in time, because of that darkness, I'm able to see how much light there really is in the world. And I mean, that might sound corny and shit, but you've really got to be able to go into dark areas and make mistakes and fail to realize how great your potential can be. Because if you're constantly not just, at a level, right? You just kind of plateau. And I mean, sometimes it's really hard to crawl out of that level. So sometimes you got to hit a dip. And because you hit that dip, then you see where your level was at. It gives you perspective. And it really allows you to look at things and see what you can do better and how you can improve or try to change directions. So, yeah, I would honestly say that 2019 wasn't my best year by far, but it wasn't a terrible year because I did shit. I learned shit, and I'm moving. I've got this channel going again. Um, I'm really going to put extra emphasis on getting things done. I'm trying to plan my life out a little bit better at this point. I mean, I have problems, honestly, sticking to things, but I'm really, really trying to change that about me. And that's one of my goals for 2020. Um, Another goal is to get back into better shape. I kind of took a month and a half off recently. I was doing really good. But yeah, and then I was just like, you know what? I deserve the rest of the year. But the rest of the year's done. You gotta make sure you take care of yourselves because it's important. You can't expect the world to take care of you. You can't expect other people to take care of you. You've got to make sure that you're taking care of you because in the end, no matter where you're at, you have to make sure that you're doing good. But you got to make sure you're doing good at the same point in time while not hurting other people on the way, intentionally or unnecessarily. And you've got to do your best. I'd like to say that I did, but I know there were certain points that I honestly could have made better decisions, better choices, and that's okay. I've learned from those mistakes. I will definitely take what I've learned in stride, and I'm gonna move on, and I have. So that's my 2019. I know it's kind of not the greatest, maybe, but it is what it is. 2020 is just going to be so much of a better year. I really, really feel it because this is going to be the roaring 20s. And screw being in my 30s, I'm going back to my 20s. Anyways, this has been another episode of Persips. I just would like you guys to all remember to like and subscribe. And always stay away from the fucking Green Goblin because he's insane. Like, legit. He took this formula and, yeah, he went berserk, insane. Like, before he was going to be the Green Goblin, he was going to be the Coffee Man. And he voted not to be the Coffee Man. And Green Goblin was a little more fearsome. So he went and terrorized shit, and then Spider-Man got involved, and they got obsessed with Spider-Man. He found out who Spider-Man was, and then he threw Spider-Man's girlfriend off a bridge. Spider-Man accidentally snapped her neck, and then he self-impaled himself, but he healed from it, and then created a clone of Spider-Man, and this whole entire gigantic messed up thing of clones, and then he came back and killed the clone. And then he endangered Jessica Jones' baby at one point. He became Nick Fury, head of S.H.I.E.L.D., except he wasn't Nick Fury, he was Norman Osborn. And then he became like a super adaptoid. And then he had a mustache. And then he went by the Goblin King, which I'm not a big fan of. I just like the Green Goblin. He's better off that way. So yeah, stay away from the Green Goblin. Peace.